right now, and I'm so excited to see you here. Welcome to the broadcast. Oscar from Chile is here. Welcome to you. And we're streaming. Welcome. Welcome, friends on YouTube. Welcome, friends on Periscope as well. Nice to see you. Welcome to the live broadcast today. I hope that some of you that are watching on YouTube feel like you can share some comments and stuff. You have to go to the actual YouTube page. Enrique from Menorca, the Paradise. Paul from Philly. We got someone from the UK. Nice to see you here. Hi. Glad to see all these friends on Periscope joining us today. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to see if I can make sure that we don't get interrupted. Yes, I can. Sid from Toronto. And nice to see you, Sid. Let me know where you're from. I'd love to see you here. Atlanta, this is how it's done. Rusker's from South Africa. Jeff from San Francisco. Hi from Sweden. Philly, Madrid, Turkey. Oh, this is good. We got a lot of good people here. Alabama, England. Hi, Caven on YouTube. Nice to see you here. Dallas, Texas. Somalia, London. Oh, okay. Stockholm, Michigan. Mexico, France, Los Angeles, Jersey. Oh, Mike from Bishop. Nice to see you, Mike. Colorado. Wow, we got people from all over today. People working in the UK, Moscow, Melbourne, Russia. Oh my gosh, there's people all over the place here. Lots of people. Is it better to be on YouTube? I'll be showing some charts on YouTube. Either one's fine. I'll pull the camera around on Periscope as well. And you can always go to YouTube later. All right, now tell us the BS story you're going to say. Gosh, I gotta block people on. Why are people idiots? Norway, Spain, living in Malaga, Costa Rica, and I'm so happy to see you all here. Welcome. Oh my gosh. Haters gonna hate. That's so true. I think some people are on Periscope and Twitter and are literally just wackos. Like, they're just absolutely bananas, right? Wow. Some of these people are hilarious. Does everybody see these comments coming? Oh, these are really good. All right, we're going to get going here. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. My name is Rob Booker. You can watch a replay of this at thebookerreport.com. We're on Periscope Live. We're on YouTube. And Periscope is just full of wackos and weirdos. And so if you're on Periscope, you just have to know that some crazy people they're on everybody's feed. It happens all the time, and it happens to everybody. And today's show and live right here, and tomorrow's podcast and radio show for the Booker Report feature this question about how does somebody go about making $10,000 a month? Now, this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, and I'm not doing this presentation so that some of you can make a bajillion dollars or whatever. What I'm doing this for is because there are a lot of people out there. There's a guy out there saying that he made $30 million starting with like $10,000. And there's people that are just out there like charging you a lot of money in order to teach you something that sounds like a get-rich-quick scheme. And so on today's presentation, I'm going to teach an actual trading system. Not like a get-rich-quick scheme or whatever. I'm going to teach an actual trading system. And I'm going to actually share with you a method for compounding gains and taking trades and making money. So there's nothing for sale on this broadcast. And if you want to make vulgar comments on Periscope, just find another Periscope feed that you can share those on, because nobody wants to read that here. And I'm not here to scam anybody. I'm just here to share what has worked for me in the past. If you don't know who I am, I'm Rob Booker. You can look me up on the web. You'll find the good and the bad. Let's talk about a foundation first of all. One of the primary reasons that people are not successful at trading Forex is that number one, they switch systems all the time. They basically switch back and forth between systems. They trade too often. They trade with a large trade size. They listen to other people, and they trade what other people think, not what you think. And one of the main problems is everybody's always looking for someone who has the answer. They're looking to shift the responsibility for their trading from themselves onto someone else. And my message today here is trusting yourself. It's about how to trust in your own judgment and how to do well on your own. Now, a lot of you are really skeptical, and I know that. And I'm not here to sell you anything, all right? I'm not. That's not the purpose of this presentation. I've been trading for 16 years. A lot of my results are public. Some of my results are not. And if you just continue to watch these broadcasts, I'll share account statements and my FX book statements, and I'll share my trading history with you. I'll talk to you about how much money I made last year. I'll talk to you about all that stuff. That's not the point of today's presentation, although we'll look at some of that stuff today as well. So if you could just hold the phone on asking me how much I made last year or whatever, I do a broadcast every day. You don't have to sell your dog. All right. Once again, I want to repeat this over and over. People trade too often. They trade too big. They overtrade. They trade from short-term charts. They want to be super successful trading. They want to day trade the currency market, or they want to day trade the stock market. They want to make a ton of money really fast. And this stuff never works. They also want to find somebody who claims to have been... so if I'm looking over here, I'm looking on YouTube. So don't ask me that again. So this is on youtube.com/Rob Booker, and it's also on Periscope Live. They want to follow somebody else, and that person that they follow takes a trade, then tells them about the trade. And then after they tell them about the trade, it's too late to get in, and it's too late to follow the trade. And it's a giant mess. And all of this comes because people ignore the only two things that matter when it comes to trading. And the only two things that matter, and I'm so tired of every other explanation for why people succeed. There are only two rules that matter. And these two rules are, here's to you in Periscope. So number one is they let a completely manageable loss turn into a giant and horrific loss. Number two, they don't trade what's easy. They trade what they wish they could trade, and they try to make a lot of money really quickly. Let me repeat those to the YouTube people right over here. Number one, people let a manageable loss turn into a large loss, and people don't do what's easy, they do what they wish they could do. Instead of compounding small gains, they attempt to make a lot of money really quickly by following somebody, by paying someone a lot of money, or whatever. And this is critically important because it's not just about leverage, and it's not just about trade size, and it's not just about time frame charts, and it's not just about finding the best system or whatever. Trading and gambling are the same thing if you let a loss get out of control. There's no different. And all people who tell you that there's one perfect system or one perfect method or one person that you need to follow, it's all just BS. It's total BS. What you need to do is find a system that works for you, and then you need to just focus on that system and never let a loss get out of control and compound your gains. It doesn't matter who you follow or what system you trade as long as you follow those two rules, period. And that's it. And there is so much going on in the financial markets today where you could just basically get distracted. And so much of what we hear or can hear or listen to or watch on TV is noise. And I've been part of that in the past as well. I'm absolutely, I absolutely positively admit to that. All right. So let's take a look at some charts. If you are on YouTube, I'm going to share some charts with you using Google Chrome. So let's take a look at some charts, and I want to walk you through the elements of a very simple and straightforward methodology. If you're not interested or if you don't care, it's fine. I'm not offended, but just basically leave your comments on somebody else's Periscope or whatever. All right, let's switch over to the charts. All right, so you're here looking at a Euro British pound chart, and this could be a Euro US dollar chart, it could be a Euro Australian dollar chart, or a lot of other things. You can watch the recording of this at the bookerreport.com homepage or on youtube.com/robbooker. I'm going to look at the screen over here, and I'm going to look at Periscope over here. There's two different locations, and that's because I broadcast in two different places. If you're on Periscope and you want to see these charts, go to the bookerreport.com, and you can watch this on the homepage, and you'll be able to see the charts that we're looking at right now. Otherwise, you won't be able to see. Okay. This is a chart of the Euro Australian dollar, but it could be a chart of any other financial instrument. It could be Monster Beverage Company, IBM, Amazon, or whatever else. And I'm going to share with you some stuff that's on the chart right here, and I'm going to share with you a simple trading system that you can basically use as much or often as you want. All right. These are the Bollinger Bands right here, and I set them to 800-2. This is the relative strength index at the bottom of the chart. And this red line up here is what I call Knoxville divergence. I want to teach you a generally super simple trading system. If you're watching on Periscope, come on youtube.com/robbooker or go to thebookerreport.com and see the charts. Okay, when this financial instrument reaches the top of the Bollinger Bands and at the same time it is overbought on the relative strength index set to 28, what I will do is draw a trend line across those candles and I will sell it on a break below those candles. That is a short trade. That's a sell trade, and it would be a short sell on Monster Beverage Company or Amazon or whatever else. If it does the opposite, if it goes below the bottom Bollinger Bands and goes oversold, like right here on the chart, you could draw a trend line across the tops of those candles and buy it as it goes back into the Bollinger Bands, and you're good to go. That is an incredibly simple trading methodology, and I'm going to share it with those of you that are watching on Periscope. All right, so there's the chart on Periscope. You can see that there. Let me show you what's going on. That's price falling below the bottom Bollinger Bands. That's price going oversold on the relative strength index. This is price breaking through a trend line and going up from there. Okay, so that's the entire that's the entire methodology, and there's nothing more sophisticated or complicated than that right there. It is a ultra simple and straightforward trading methodology that you just learned in 5 seconds. If you want to watch it again, you can go to thebookerreport.com and you can just watch it on the homepage. There will be a video right there on the homepage that replays this over and over. That is one of the elements of the primary trading system that I use. And I have a robot that actually takes those trades automatically. Now, is that a magic trading system? No, there is no magic trading system. Yes, that's the right link. There is no magic trading system. It's just a simple trading system. You know, oftentimes, some of our questions are incredibly complex, but the answers are really simple. What's the best way to trade? Well, there is no best way to trade. There is no mentor or guru or special person out there who's going to make all your dreams come true and share with you some secret of fantastic wealth that will absolutely never fail you. The only thing that never fails is never letting a loss get out of control and stopping it before it does, and then doing what's easy and simple, like we just showed here, and then just repeating that over and over and over again. Everybody can claim that they found the secret or the answer or the greatest mentor in the world. I'm not the greatest mentor in the world. I'm not the greatest trader in the world. I've managed millions of dollars, and I've made millions of dollars, and I've lost millions of dollars. I've done all those things. And like I said, this is a daily broadcast, and we'll look at account statements and all kinds of stuff during these broadcasts. But today I just want to set the tone for this conversation that when looking for a mentor or a guru or a trading system, consider just doing something incredibly simple. Consider doing something that doesn't require paying anybody a lot of money or paying anybody any money. Consider doing something that is so basic and simple you could teach your next door neighbor to do it in 5 minutes. Those are all considerations that I think are important. I sell trading courses for $27 occasionally. I don't care if you buy them or not. I think that people overanalyze and make things really difficult. I think people turn trading into a very complicated venture, and by so doing get into a lot of trouble. I use Oanda for currency trading, and I use Robinhood for stock trading. So why don't we take some questions here, at least from people who have a serious question that they would like to ask. And I'd love to hear. So what kind of questions come up? Where did you say you can find the video again? All right, so you can find the video at thebookerreport.com. That's my website. You can also find it at youtube.com/RobBooker, and you can watch the replay of this video. It will be there. Everybody wants to know how much money I made last year. I made about $220,000 from trading, and I made about the same amount of money from education. So I taught people, and they paid me money, and I also traded and made some money. So how did I start? That's a reasonable question. I started 16 years ago when my business failed. My friend and I bankrupted our business. We were absolutely terrible business people. And we started trading again in... Well, I didn't. He left the country. I started trading in 2000, 2001, and I was absolutely terrible at it. I was the worst trader ever. I was so bad. And more of that's included in Adventures of a Currency Trader. That was a book I published in 2007. But essentially it took me a long time to figure things out. And I still make mistakes all the time. That time frame chart was the 4-hour chart, and the configuration of the Bollinger Bands were the 800 period Bollinger Bands with a deviation of 2. My first trading account had $2,500 in it, and I lost all but $250 in it within 3 weeks. So it was pretty bad. I was a pretty awful trader. Let's see. Where's a good place to start learning how to trade? You could go to thebookerreport.com. You could do that. You could do gettingstartedinforex.com. You could go to babypips.com. You could just look up YouTube videos. You could come to this show every day and I'll answer questions. That's a reasonably good idea. I bet I beat you as an awful trader. Yeah, we're all bad sometimes. What broker is good in Canada? Oanda is really good in Canada. They're pretty good in Canada. Do I do live trades daily? Yeah, I do live trades daily. Oanda has a decent beginner's course. That's absolutely true. Yeah, there's a lot of good free information out there, for sure. I'm happy to answer some more questions if you've got them. What are trades? I'm confused. That's hilarious. I'm trading currencies, Forex pairs, and I also trade stocks. What kind of capital do you need for $10,000 a month? Well, I've seen some traders do $10,000 a month starting with $10,000, and I've seen other traders do it with $100,000 and everything in between. What makes a big difference in someone's ability to make $10,000 a month is their ability to contain their losses. I know this sounds like a broken record. Don't let a loss get out of control. Cut a loss off really quickly. Second of all, doing what's easy, so staying with the system, not changing their system, not jumping around with lots of different systems, lots of different gurus, lots of different mentors. And third, if you have a trade that's moving in the right direction, add to your winning trades. Add to a trade that's going well, and that's... I know this sounds like I'm making it like ridiculously simple. What do I think about gold? I think gold is ready for a pullback, and it's in general doing very well and should continue to do well. So that's awesome. Most traders start with too much money when they could start with a very small amount. And what do you trade majority of your time? I do 50-50, currency trading and equities trading. I have my robots run the currency trades, and I trade equities after or right before earnings. And that seems to be really work really well for me. What instrument indicates on the stock market? I use the same things that I was just telling you here today. Is the Dow ready for a sell-off again? I think that's a reasonable thing to assume. It's had 3 good weeks. A lot of indications are that it's kind of peaked out in the short term. Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense to me. I don't have any argument with that. I think oil is probably ready for a little bit of a downward move as well, together with the stock market. Do I trust robots? Absolutely yes. Yeah, I absolutely trust robots. How do you get robots to work for you? Well, I have a show that I did on Friday about robots, and you can look that up on thebookerreport.com. Just look for anything that says robots on it. Thebookerreport.com is the website, and most of what I do is free. Some of what I do is very inexpensive, like $9 a month, so that anybody could have it, and if you don't like it, it's no big deal, and no one's going to get hurt. I'm the first person ever to say what, Jay? What's a good amount to start for stocks? Well, if you start with less than $25,000, then you can't day trade the stock market. Do I have a blog or a website? Yes, thebookerreport.com. Bruce Lee versus Mike Tyson. Bruce Lee. Oh, yeah, the robots work for me. Yeah, I absolutely love running the robots. Yeah, they've definitely worked. What's a good return for clients? I've been trading and was hoping for 2% a month. That is absolutely brilliant. 2% a month is brilliant if you're managing money. Do you have to wear that shirt to make $10,000? Yes. Who will be the NBA champions in 2016? The Golden State Warriors. What do I think about 3D printing? I love it. It's beautiful. Can you explain how someone would lose in Forex but do great with stocks? Well, some people, I know this sounds crazy, but sometimes you just get like, you just know a certain market better than another, and you just feel more comfortable there. And I don't know why that is. I can't explain it. But I've watched as some people that don't make any money in options turn to Forex and make a ton of money. And then I've watched as some people trade Forex unsuccessfully, and then they start trading stocks, and they're like, wow, this is easy. I don't know why that is. Madonna versus Jordan. I don't know the answer to that. Buy the company Square stock. Read your 10 pips book. What happens with that? That's all the same. It's all still good times. Okay, everybody. If you want to watch this replay, you can watch it right here on Periscope, or you can go to thebookerreport.com or youtube.com/RobBooker. And someone keeps asking me if I'm rich. I make more than I spend. So the answer to that is yes. And I don't have as much as some people. I don't have tens of millions of dollars. I don't even have more than $3 million in the bank. I don't think that matters anyway. But no, I think anybody that spends less than they make is rich. Thanks. People are trolling my Periscope. Yeah, everybody trolls everybody's Periscope. It's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go pick up my son from school. Thanks everybody for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time tomorrow. I'll see you back at this time, same place. Thanks everybody.